Let's crack a cold one. Lovely. God. Right. So today I'm going to teach you how to make a wood burning stove, or an emergency wood burning stove, should you need to. There are a few things you can use to make these, but my advice would be for this video, food cans is the way I'm going to go with it. You can make them out of drinks cans, but food cans kind of work better. The first one we're going to make, because this is the quick and simple one, is I'm going to teach you how to make a wood burning stove. So the trick with this will be that you're giving yourself a base to be able to cook inside of that's safe and gives you some sort of wind protection. All you need for this is an empty food can. That's it. And again, decent knife, pair of scissors. You don't need the pair of scissors for this one, but again, if you want clean cuts, always have a pair of scissors in your kit. The reason I suggest making one of these is because you can find food cans pretty much everywhere. You can make this with a drinks can and it works the exact same way. What you want to do is you want to get your knife and you want to make a capital I on the, what's that, corrugated piece of the food tin. So there, right away to about 2 down from the top there. You want a little bit of pressure to get in the side. There we go. You should have a cut like that at the bottom. And then you want to do the same near the top in the same spot. Once you're in, it should look something like that to start with. And that's a little bit off, but it's not the end of the world. And cut down with your knife from the top one to the bottom one. Once you've done top to bottom, it's going to look like that. Make that capital I about 2 inches out either side. And then, now this one you can't really carry in your kit, but it's useful to know should you need to make a wood burning stove. Once you've got it cut, it's going to be a bit janky on the edges, like, you know, you're going to have some sharp edges. That's fine, they're not a big deal. What you want to then do, get your scissors, push them into the food can and sort of pry out those bits that you've cut. Once you've done this, what you've essentially made is an opening like this, yeah? Now the trick with this is that the opening you've made will be, obviously, you'll put your kindling, wood, whatever else in here, get it to light, and the fire will go up. Sides act as a wind protector. So if you've got this position, say wind's coming from this direction, you can put this here and it will help stop the wind blowing the fire out when it's just getting started. You can make holes around this top bit to like help with the flame going up, to heat the sides of the pot. I don't personally think that's that important, but if you were going to, I would suggest just like this there. I only ever used this in a emergency situation. I don't think this is something that I would use regularly. It's certainly not my preferred method of making a stove when I'm out and around. As you know, I like alcohol burning. These will do the trick in an emergency situation as long as you know how to get a fire going. Realistically, I'm not making these to be the perfect bushcrafter. I'm making these so everyday people have these skills should they ever need them. If the fire is going up rather than it just coming out the side and heating up one side, it means that fire should come out the sides around the top, which will help. But yeah, that's it. That's all you need to make a wood burning stove. And like I said, you would put your kindling in the bottom, make sure this is cleaned out and dry inside, otherwise nothing's going to light. Get that lit, and then you'd really only have to feed this like dry sticks. My best advice for dry sticks, I've just been to collect some dry sticks for the next part of this video. When it comes to collecting dry sticks, the key thing is to not pick sticks up off the ground. A lot of people think that you can just do that, but if it's rained or the ground's damp, sticks will absorb the moisture, so it makes them useless. They're no good to you at that point. What you want to do is find sticks that have broken off trees that are stuck up in a branch, so say just like up, hanging off something, and if they break like this, but they've still connected in some spots. They're not perfectly dry, but that clean snap, that's good. Break clean. That's what you want, that perfect snap where it doesn't hold together. That's perfectly dry wood. That's what you want to be looking for. Start feeding it some small dry sticks to start with, and then slowly work up, and eventually you'll have yourself a nice little fire going in this that you can cook on. On to the next one, which isn't so much a stove, but I do think is kind of important. Make one, put it in your kit or put it in your house, should there ever be a power outage or whatever else. I've got one wrapped up here, so I'm just going to show you it. An emergency fire lighter. Now inside that, dry wood shavings, sorry, and wax. So for this, you would need some sticks, pencil sharpener, and if you haven't got a pencil sharpener, use a knife, but I will promise you, doing it with a sharpener is way quicker. Doing it with a knife is going to take you a very long time. You're going to need some candlesticks. You're going to need an empty tuna tin. First thing you want to do is you want to take your label off the tuna tin, so your tin is empty, looking like that. Now you want to get some sticks. You don't want them too thick, you don't want them too thin. You want them just sort of like no bigger than like a large pencil, really. It's just going to make your life hard otherwise. Now to sharpen these down quicker, I'm going to be lazy and I'm not going to do it by hand, because otherwise this very quick video would turn into a fucking like 3-hour video of me just sharpening down sticks by hand, because it takes a long time. If you want to make this quick and you're in your house making one, grab a drill, because it's just going to save you time. Open up your drill head, pop your stick inside. Making one of these while you're out is a little bit harder, so I would advise against that. But if you make one of these at your house and keep it at your house, or make one of these before you go out and do a trip, it's going to save you some time. And just start to shave down your stick. You're going to have to do this with a fair few sticks. You need a lot of this to get this to work correctly. So start with a load of wood that looks like this. When you start packing the bark into this, you want it to be as packed as possible. You don't want it to be like loose. So you really want to like stuff your wood shavings in, basically, like I said, and pack them in. Like flatten them down if you've got to, because it doesn't matter if they break, that's not the part. Basically, it's the mixture of the wood and the candle wax is basically what you really need. Scoot all that onto there. Like everything I had in that pot has packed into that little tin perfectly. Welcome to my kitchen. A weird angle. Anyway, first things first, probably going to need no more than 2 candlesticks to do this, and then just break them apart, just like so. Then you want something to get the wicks out of the wax once it's melted. Wax melts pretty quickly, so you haven't actually got to wait an awful long time to do this. I take one of these every single time I go camping. Anytime I'm doing anything outdoors, I always take one of these, because it is the perfect emergency fire lighter for cooking and warmth and whatever else. Like if you're freezing outside and you've got one of them, you can place that straight in the ground, light it, and it's going to give you some heat. Like, they are useful. So make sure your wood's all nice and packed down in it, just like so. I don't use anything wood burning unless I'm in an emergency situation. So if I'm freezing or I'm soaking wet, those are the situations that I would use these types of things, purely because an alcohol burning stove does everything I need it to. Here, I'm slowly, just piece by piece, looping out the wicks. Wax won't set too quickly, so that's not an issue. Mind that to one side. Then you want to start adding your wax to your wood mix. Slowly but surely, this is not a rush. Don't do this too quickly. Try and slowly but surely. Don't just pour it in one spot. Pour it all the way around to ensure that all of the wood gets soaked in this. And that is it. The wood inside is going to be soaking up that wax for a while. Wax takes a little while to cool down, so the tin itself is going to be hot. Yeah? Don't immediately try and pick this thing up to move it, because you will burn your hands. I'm speaking from experience because I'm a fucking idiot. If you're going to put it in a pack, like I do with this one, it's just wrapped in cling film, as you can see there. But that is solid. Like, that's not moving out of there anytime soon. You want to let this dry and set, which will probably take about an hour. Always keep one of these in your pack, and to be honest with you, keep one in your house, because if the power goes and you haven't got the means to make a fire or fucking make an alcohol burning stove like in the last video, this will do the trick for one night. That's about it. There's not really much else to report. I'm going to wait for this to cool down. I hope the video has been somewhat educational and useful to some of you. I'm going to be doing stuff like this alongside my fucking get ready with me's and whatever else. But if they help other people, then, you know, fucking bonus. Maybe the last how-to video I do for a little while, purely because I have a trip planned. Gonna, I think, be broken into probably 3 parts of a video because it's a bit of a mad idea. Yeah, I'm Liam the Unprofessional. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this kind of shit and you want to learn more about it, fucking like the video, subscribe to the channel, help a guy out. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying here, guys. I'm trying. Yeah, this is it. So that's how to build a wood burning stove out of a food can. Pretty simple. And how to build an emergency burner. Yeah, nice one. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you all very soon.